Barbados, sweet paradise. But the politricksters, full of lies. They want mash up the culture, tear it to the ground. But the people we stand strong, we hold the rock down. Wake up my people, shake up, wake up my people, shake up, wake up my people, shake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up my people, shake up, wake up my people, shake up, wake up my people, shake up. It's time to rise, time to see clear, time to open we eyes. Tell a friend to tell a friend if you don't mind. Real news for the people in real time. Enough love, enough respect. Welcome to politically incorrect. Politically incorrect. Politically incorrect. Enough love, enough respect. Welcome to politically incorrect. Politically incorrect. Politically incorrect. Wake up my people, shake up, wake up my people, shake up, wake up my people, shake up. Hey, wake up my people, shake up, wake up my people, shake up, wake up my people, shake up. Wake up.
Yes, wake up. Yes. Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Wazira Menin. Y'all already know one perfect balance. Welcome to Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct. And if we're not correct, feel free to correct us. I know it's been a minute and a day, or a day and a minute. It's been a minute though, for sure. So much going on. It's not even funny, man. Yeah, but I had to jump in here tonight for sure to bring some updates, share some information, and basically make some declarations. Definitely make some declarations. So go tell a friend to tell a friend. Politically Incorrect, up and running. We have much to share. I mean, again, I did this before the last. I think the last one we were on here was, is it willful ignorance of imperialist traditions? Now, I made that the statement then, but the question is now, is it willful ignorance or imperialist tradition? Is it that we just doing this thing and we don't know, or we know and we don't realize the danger of it? And so, society as a whole, we're going to look at some stuff tonight, answer some questions. Definitely go tell a friend to tell a friend. Empress, I see you. Glad to see you back. Nah, I ain't back, man. I ain't been nowhere. I was putting in some work, doing some work in the region, charting the way forward, pushing forward. Well, I don't want to say pushing it, and that may not be the thing, but promoting it more so than ever, man. Food security is too important for us not to take it serious. Like, it's too serious not to take serious. I'm trying to close out these pages real quick. So I got a few videos to share tonight, a bit of advice, and also, some of these backdoor features on the phone, specifically the Samsung. We're going to share some information. Some of y'all might even know this already, though, on how to deactivate some of these features as best you can. So we can just do a little walkthrough. I don't know if I could try to get a video where I could show you how to do it on the phone. But we're going to try a thing tonight. We're going to try it. It's not like they got the unboxing the phones. We're not unboxing. We're going to try some stuff and see how we could, break it down. Yeah. Anyhow. So a lot of things happening in Barbados and across the globe. The whole Trinidad thing, the whole Grenada. In fact, the Grenada thing, I don't know if y'all know this, but Grenada been drilling for some oil lately. It looked like they found it. I don't know. So there may be some other reasons why America want to jump into Grenada, but we're gonna talk about that in a bit. But first, we gotta deal with this matter that popped up recently in the media, and that's pertaining to Mr. Bostic. We had discussed this before, like I had explained before. My perspective as to why this would have happened, but we gonna answer some questions again tonight, just as a food for thought and a reminder. Crash course tonight. We can just go and recap some stuff because most of the stuff we already discussed, most of the stuff we already talked about. Like we've already said it before. The church has got a lot of it right in that what they call it end time prophecy, and so and that just to say that the scripture said this a while back. We've been seeing it unfold. And by the way, that's not for me to sound religious. That's just point out the obvious. That there are a number of things, some right, some may be questionable, but there are a lot of things that we can't say we didn't know. What we cannot do is say we didn't know. So we're gonna point to some stuff tonight. We're gonna ask some questions. I see we got some new buses too. Do I have that? Do I have that one up? I had that one. Maybe I don't. We'll find it. We'll find it. We'll find it. We'll find it. Because it's all relative. It's not by chance that we just got a bunch of new buses as well. In fact, I dare to say that if you really stop and think about it, the buses, when you talk these buses, does the buses form a grid while they're on the road, a network? Because don't forget, they all have Wi-Fi. All the buses got Wi-Fi. Do they form a network, a web? Just regardless of where they are on the island, they can relay information in real time to each other, and then obviously to some command posts. But we gonna take a look at that. We gonna take a look at all them little details. Like I said, nothing is happening now by chance. Like this thing is so orchestrated and it's so obvious that you would have to be like sleeping on the rock not to see what is taking place. And so we gonna just look at it from a different perspective. I think the first thing I want to do here is first again give thanks to everybody who've been patient and messaging me and calling and checking on me. Yeah, I've been doing some work, man. Trying to be doing some work. Food security, whether we like it or not, all of us going out of real well, not maybe not all of us. Some of us are gonna be held accountable for that, because you got to feed the people. You got to feed the people. Like I can't stress that enough. The minute you let your enemy feed you, you already know what time it is. So yes, Empress. Shout out to Empress, your whole family. Shout out to the whole politically incorrect crew, Fade family, Forest National Congress. Kata taught me and kidnapped you, holding you prisoners. Soon reported you missing. Cheese on bread, Sean. Yeah, I know, right? Nah, me ain't kidnap me. She didn't kidnap me. Prophecy part of the plan. Prophecy is part of the plan. Prophecy is part of the plan. That's the thing about prophecy. It's always part of the plan, God's plan. We may not always understand it in the moment, but it usually makes sense down the line. It's just crazy how it goes sometimes. So here's the deal. Let me go ahead and let me see which one up first. We could do the, someone asked me how I felt about the borders open and national, well, what they considered, non-nationals being allowed to come in and work. I hear some guys was having a conversation talking about they're gonna come in and take all the jobs and whatnot. And I'm thinking, man, when last you look around, I mean, the borders been open. People been traveling and working for a while. There's nothing new. So I think a lot of these conversations are primarily distractions from what is really going on. It keeps people busy dialoguing and in some cases marching and other stuff, but that's not throwing shade. That's just a reality. Keep people busy about something that seems to be relevant, but really in the biggest picture, in the larger scheme of things, it isn't relevant at all. I mean, like at all. When we talk about how Barbadians feel about people coming in and whatnot, let's be realistic. When last you went to the gas station or certain places, it's like a lot of folks working there don't sound like us. And I'm not trying to pinpoint any culture or any nationality, but that's the reality. The Caribbean been open, folks been traveling to Barbados specifically and acquiring jobs. In case some folks been sleeping on the rock, that is nothing new. It's been going on. It's probably going to continue to go on. Don't get tapped on that too much. Don't let them, xenophobia and all this other stuff, free movement and all that. Listen, first thing first, let's be clear about this. If nothing else, they talk about folks coming in illegal and whatnot. Listen, no one. I'm just going to say this as a caveat here. No one is illegal on stolen land. That's just the bottom line. No one is illegal on stolen land. So let me not go down that road, okay? We be talking. Yes, Barbadians, who we call Barbadians, only in the last, 50-something years, were Barbadians. Prior to that, it was a colony. Prior to that, it was a concentration camp of enslaved people that were forced to work under some harsh conditions and that kind of stuff, generational trauma. So let's not, bear in mind that the ship just stopped off in Barbados and then stopped off in St. Vincent and stopped off in different parts of the world. The funny thing is, and I'll tell you this, Barbadians do not realize as a culture, as a history, that the people in what we call St. Vincent, we were always traveling back and forth between the two islands. So Barbadians, in essence, are really Vincentians. The Vincentians are Barbadians. It's just how the family thing go. The indigenous folks that were there before, the darker ones, which is what they call the Black Caribs, just to use the term loosely. A lot of folks, mix within what they call those who were brought over, the Kalinago, Garifuna, whatever they wanted, whichever term they choose to use, is really the same one people. And after they made a treaty in St. Vincent, after the whole battle, they deported a lot of them. They sent a lot of them, I should say, the British colony, to Belize, believe it or not. So people from Belize coming back to Barbados aren't Belize folks coming to Barbados. There's really Barbadians that, by way of St. Vincent, that were sent there decades ago, just returning home. The spirit is going to bring home who they choose to bring home, but that's just a historical aspect of things. One people. So let's not be divided by these modern terms and stuff like that. And folks giving their opinion about, what the government think. Anyhow, just not get tapped in that at all. Bigger fish here we got to focus on. And one of those fish is things like this right here. I want to play this video. The thumbnail was interesting up, I think it's best to play it first. I think it's best to play this one first. Yeah, play this one first. I know it is, man. As they mentioned that name, right? I gotta play this one first. So they did some updates, and this is a little different than I recall it. But here we go. Let me just add this one here to the screen real quick. There you go. All righty. Let me add this right quick. Wait a minute, hold on a second. Got some folks here. Maureen, good night to you too. Emmanuel and family. Sean asked me who's God's plan. It's always God's plan, man. Greetings to you too, Daffodil. Greetings. Yeah, Pedro. Big shout out to you too. Love and honors. Greetings, family. Greetings. Yo, I'm about to piece this thing together in a way, Miss Motley, the best thing happened to Barbados. The best thing, man. Let me let the best thing happen to Barbados speak her piece.
Therefore, Mr. President of the Senate and Mr. Speaker of the House, honorable members of both chambers, I am placing on record my wholehearted endorsement of Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Davidson Bostic, FBMVO, as the second President of the Republic of Barbados. In doing so, we do not simply fill an office. We make a statement about who we are and who we aspire to be as a nation, what we value and what we are prepared to stand by. We affirm that service matters, We affirm that character matters. We affirm that experience, wisdom, and integrity matter. We affirm that in times of both challenge and opportunity, Barbados can call upon its citizens of the highest caliber who will answer that call with humility and determination.
Okay, that sounds about right. I mean, this is the same Jeffrey Bostic that resigned, if I'm not mistaken, from his office and his constituency. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm not correct, somebody just correct me. just correct me if I'm not correct. That's why I say, family, we got to pay attention to this thing, man. Who stole the land and from who? Pedro, very good question. Who stole the land and from who? Well, that is a very good question, Pedro. I'm trying to see how best to respond to that. Who stole the land and from who? Well, I'll put it this way. Originally, we were here as a people. That is for sure. Historic records would show that. That's why there's no real archaeological findings about different cultures, across Barbados or mostly Caribbean for that matter. We were always here doing trade up and down the coast, especially with the spice sales and whatnot. So when the invaders came, they came with a different mindset, and the invaders came from Europe, specifically chasing after the Spanish Inquisition. And the Spanish Inquisition was about removing the darker race from Europe in the first place. Getting some feedback in the mic. So we talk about who stole who. Well, you know how it goes, man. You know how it goes. Pedro said, well, I know, Pedro, I'm not sure what you're referring to by that other comment. I'm not sure which one. You might have to elaborate on that. In terms, nobody's illegal on stolen land. I don't know what you mean by that. If that's what you're referring to, you can always elaborate a little more. Greetings to you too, Aaron. Shalom. Shalom. Greetings to you too, Maria. I'm here, present. Tell a friend to tell a friend. The same man that had the whole country on lock. Yeah, that particular boss thing. that particular one. This is why I'm telling you, man, you cannot make this up. So, they nominate Bostic. Mr. Thorne doesn't oppose that decision. Hang on a second. There you go. Hope that makes a difference. He doesn't oppose it, but he said the Arabs started the slave trade in Africa. We're going to touch that a little later on, maybe. But he said the Arabs started the slave trade in Africa. I don't know if that's like fully accurate to how it sounds, but we're going to touch that a little later. Let me get hit to the kernel real quick. So that's what happened. And then, as if that wasn't enough, there was another conversation that they had. And so I want to add this other one to the, let me see here, hang on. I want to add this other one. Let me go and share this one. Hang on. Share this one. Because this is how it works, man. And I want you to focus on what is said right here. I want you all to listen very attentively to what is being said here. Okay? Very attentively. Hang on. Add this to the screen. Hang on. There you go. This is where it gets interesting.
There being no objections, I therefore declare Lieutenant Colonel, the Most Honorable Jeffrey Davison Bostic, FB, MVO, as the next president of Barbados.
All right.
There being no objections.
There being no objections. I got a question, You can actually object to this. You could have objected to this. There's a way to object to it. Okay. So my question is, who gets to object to it? And if so, what was the way in which you go about objecting? Do you send a WhatsApp to the Prime Minister? I don't know. Do you send like parliament.com, there's a pole or something on the side of it. They can go there, and the Speaker of the House has a poll. He's taking all objections, and they tally it. And then, like, how do you object? Or is only the Republic of the Senate or the Republic of the Assembly? In other words, only those in that room get to say anything about anybody doing anything. So I was thinking, wait a minute. We said the Republic. Let me play this again so that we could be on the same page, family, because I don't know if we're on the same page in my train of thought. Let me just play this again. Hang on a second.
There being no objections, I therefore declare Lieutenant Colonel the Most Honorable Jeffrey Davison Bostick, FB, MVO, as the next president of Barbados.
Okay, he declares. He declares. I was just wondering, I was just wondering. I'm trying to get some eyes up in the sky here. Hang on a second. For this way at. Hang on. Oh, there you go. There you go. Really? Really? Okay, comments. All right, there you go. All right. I can see now. Well, kind of, not really. All right, cool. Yeah, so that's my thing, man. That's my thing right there. So let me see. Boss is a traitor. All right, okay. A granny killer. Shout out to Miss Ford while we at it. Who was supposed to object to that at that moment? That's the thing. That's the thing, Maria. That's the $1 million question right there. How does this work, man? Like, how does this work? So, like I told y'all, this was already a plan. I mean, this is the same boss. Like I said, that after they accused him of being involved, or rather yet, after they implied that he had knowledge of something that took place between some $14 million and some vaccines at the time to be purchased, to be resold, to then be distributed. And then all of a sudden they got some free ones, a whole bunch of free ones. We don't know what happened to that situation. We know that he was like, see me? Bam, I'm out of here. I'm done with y'all. I'm gone. But really wasn't done and gone. It was just a front. And here's the deal. Bossick is now in charge of these security forces. The security forces, think about it. The president, before the president used to be the governor general, military term, right? Governor, general, a military term. Bostick being a military man. It's now the president who's now in charge of the security forces, namely police, and guess what? Military, defense force. Which, by the way, only recently was given what? Anybody paying attention? They were given what? Well, in case you were not paying attention, let me go ahead and play it for you. Because this is the only way this is going to make sense, right? Let me start to connect the dots. So connect the dots.
As members of the Barbados, the grounds of St. Anne's Fort were the backdrop as members of the Barbados Defence Force and the Barbados Police Service came together for the official opening of their joint training program, the first since the Police Act was amended to allow Defence Force.
Okay, before I go any further in this, I want you all to take a look at this picture right here. Like, just really look at it. Power to arrest. I want y'all to take a look at this image right here real quick. Let me just get out the way. I want y'all to look at this really quick. Now, I want y'all to think about this. Just really think about this for a second. Barbados, children growing up, playing, having fun, that kind of stuff. And when you see people like this walk through your community, I mean, first of all, between the camouflage and the men in blue, dark blue, black, whatever color it's supposed to be, with helmets on, shades, ski masks, with artillery like they're going to war, and then riot gear, knee pads, elbow pads, shin guards, all this stuff, as if the country has been known for the kind of behavior that would warrant someone This is saying Barbados to warrant someone to feel that they need to portray themselves like this because of safety, which is funny because there's no historical record of Barbados or Barbadians assaulting officers to such a degree that they need this kind of gear to protect the cavalry. What this does, however, it psychologically manipulates, it psychologically intimidates, it psychologically penetrates the minds of everyone, children, adults, elderly, and instills a degree of fear. Now, the police on their own isn't sufficient numbers. And so in order to make it a totalitarian, but to really do the overkill now, no pun intended, they merged the men of security forces that were trained to basically kill on command. That's what, so that they train to kill on command. They don't have the prerequisite skills that the officers, although it might be lacking at times, have with regards to how they deal with citizens in terms of de-escalating situations. So they're not trained to de-escalate. That's not what they're trained to do at all. But anyhow, let me finish play. When y'all listen to the rest of it. Listen.
It was amended to allow Defence Force personnel powers of arrest while supporting the police. Chief of Staff of the Barbados Defence Force, Brigadier General Carlos Lovell, says the training allowed both sides to operate seamlessly in accordance with the law.
The commencement of this certification course represents both a historic and a strategic step forward, a practical expression of cooperation between our military and our police that has been decades in the making. It is a historic moment. This course has been made possible by the recent amendments to the Police Act, a landmark change that now grants specific powers to members of the Defence Force while in operation with members of the Barbados Police Service.
These sessions will focus
Okay, wait, hold
on law enforcement procedures, ensuring soldiers and police officers work side by side effectively during joint operations. Deputy Commissioner of Police Owen Boyce told the law enforcement officials to be fair in their operations.
Your safety is sacrosanct. You cannot do anything unless you secure yourself. If you want to secure others, you must secure yourself. And we recognize too that to perform the duties, we have been granted legal and moral rights to use force, and you are expected to be reasonable in its application. Now, what is reasonableness and what is the application of force? And what is excessive? Those are things that I believe you would have exposure to in the upcoming weeks in the program.
Okay. Well, they're going to find all the words to articulate this and make it seem right, make it sound okay. Here's some realities, right? Throughout history, this is nothing new. This has been done before in different countries. You can do a simple Google search. I'm sure you'll find some information. This has never really worked because what you find happening all the time is your rights get trampled on in so many different ways, humanitarian rights. Because I said, this is a heavy hand now being asked to be gentle. That was conditioned and trained to be heavy its entire existence. Is now being told, well, put on some white gloves and pet instead. Meanwhile, maintaining your same apparatus that is psychologically now attached to the individual as an individual who's trained to be a certain way. So understand the kind of places this thing is going. And hence, they need someone in position who has a military background in order to oversee these things. Because who knows if there's ever going to be, well, there might be another election, maybe one more at best. But where does it go after that in terms of, things falling apart? Because don't forget, they all recently signed on to this American treaty, whether they admit it or not. That's why none of them, the Caribbean leaders, do not support openly Ibrahim Traore. You don't hear them talking about it. You don't hear Jeffrey Bostic saying, yep, my military brother took over the country because the government was doing crap. Let me come and do the same thing. It'd be interesting to see if he's trying to be the West Indies, the Barbados Ibrahim Traore. That'd be, because that's where this could go. If the government fails, let's face it, BLP, DLP, they're both vessels sinking. They're both sinking. There's no if and but about that. That's why the different new pockets of parties popping up, because people can clearly see that they're failing. But what has not failed is a coup. Someone taking over the military security forces. There's a merger between police and defense force controlling. There's no one to oppose them if they take control of the country. There's no one. And so, because citizens are not allowed to have guns, because we don't want you armed to resist us if we decide to take you hostage. Not a conversation. But that's a right to defend yourself, but that's another conversation. But this is where this is potentially going, man. And so the Barbados y'all think, it's going to be, is definitely not going to be. And the distractions are there. They're many, they're plenty. And you can get caught up in it. Why not? I guess it's something else to do. But make no mistake about it, man. This is going on. Let's hear what this other guy have to say real quick. This will be funny.
Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police Barry Hunt, in charge of special operations in the Barbados Police Service, encouraged participants to become familiar with the Constitution.
Imagine this. You got to tell your soldiers to become familiar with the Constitution. The Constitution that they're supposed to be upholding, the nation, they're not going to get familiar with it in terms of people's rights and whatnot. Listen, the police don't even deal with that. The Constitution only applies to the plantocracy, not the slaveocracy. That's why you ain't going to find these policemen and these security guards patrolling inside Westmoreland. You ain't going to see them patrolling and going house door to door in West Sandy Lane. You ain't going to see that in a number of other places. You're going to see it in certain housing communities, though. And that's where this is entirely supposed to focus. This is to psychologically put the fear of God, in this case, the fear of the Prime Minister, the fear of the government, in the hearts, souls, and minds of the people. And that's for one reason and one reason only, to force compliance.
I invite you, however, or urge you to make it your business as participants and students to learn the provisions of Chapter 3 of our country constitution verbatim. Read it and learn it as you learn the different chapters in your Bible, which I'm sure is quite easy for you. So make Chapter 3 of the Constitution of our country your Bible during this journey and going forward.
Chapter 3 of the Constitution, make it your Bible. I'm tempted to pull up Chapter 3 right now, but that'd be your homework, family. That'd be your homework, man. Go pull that up. What are your thoughts on this, man? Permission to arrest while working with the police. Yeah. Yep, pushing a fear campaign, strictly fear. You want to take soldiers and turn them into law enforcers. Well, it's supposed to be peace officers, but you know how it is. Pedro said 1937. Pedro know what's going on, man. Serious. Who are the police and soldiers covering their faces now? Why they covering their faces? Because you're not supposed to know who's doing what to who. Yes, we know in advance that Mia wanted to turn them into police, military state. You know what? Look, man. Mia Motley has no desire to do anything. Motley is simply the manager. I keep telling you all. She is just the manager. She is not the plantocracy, but merely the agent representing, or the chairman. She just speaks on behalf of what people have decided with no opposition. Since there's no opposition, are we supposed to see who is protecting and serving us? Well, we should be able to see who's protecting and serving us, but the problem is they're not protecting and serving us. They might be protecting, but they're certainly not serving. How do you know the Barbadian soldiers with those under the mask? That is a very good question, Jackie. In fact, that's probably the question of the night, for sure. Because here's the thing. When they had the Tivoli Garden, what was it? Tivoli Garden massacre, they brought different forces from other territories to work amongst them, who they knew were disconnected from the people in that country. So they had no reservation to doing stuff because they had no relation. So it's just, but good question, man. Serious. What kind of force? They are trained to kill. Yep. It works in Venezuela. You want to start that Venezuela conversation there, Pedro, really? It worked in El Salvador also, didn't it? But look at the human rights violations, if you know, while we at it. As they wearing masks, and mean they got something to hide. The mask is to protect them from the dust, you know, and from anything else that might be a viral infection, airborne or something. It wouldn't work in BIM. But it's been going on. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't think they care if it works or not. I just think they're interested in it happening. A lot of them in the army see what's going on. A lot of them put in to leave. Not all of them are in for it. That's true. I know a lot of folks are leaving the defense forces. True. But I was told you had to pay money to leave. I didn't even know that. You got to pay money to lead the defense force. I think that's what it is. If I'm wrong, correct me. Like 5,000 or something like that. I don't know. Somebody could correct me. Pedro, let me know. When you take power by the gun, history shows you be taken out by the gun. Facts. Facts. We only fear God, not man like us. At-risk communities, they will be deployed. At-risk communities. That because San Lane folks got guns in their house. You not gonna knock and kick nobody's door. You gonna get opposition. Westmoreland folks got the fire sticks in their house. You ain't going up in there like that. A lot of communities in Barbados, you ain't going up in there like that. Frank, getting on Frank Lowe. He said, who is the chairman? You know who the chairman is, man. The spokesperson, the selector. What we think is the elected. The selected to speak on behalf. But so that's where that going, man. And so, you know, there's even campaigns on social media talking about, oh, I thought, so when they're not with the police, they don't have no power. But when they're with the police, they have power. Like this whole thing is not about arrest. See, that's the distraction, arrest or not arrest. It's the show of force. And they're working together, building a special unit to do special work at a special time. Read between the lines. You know what I'm saying? This is going. Where is this going? Let me show you where it's going. Let me show you where it's going. Let me go ahead and share this one instead. I won't do the whole thing, but I'll touch on this real quick. Here we are. Here we are.
At a signing ceremony marking the official handover of the 30 buses, which arrived on island earlier this year, Minister of Transport and Works, Cynthia Bradshaw, thanked China for the contribution. She said the partnership reflects the Barbados government's commitment to affordable and reliable public transport for all commuters. China's latest donation put the island's electric bus fleet at 89. And Minister Bradshaw said
89 of these mobile what do you call them, huh? Beacons is what I should call it. The cameras in and out on these vehicles. Like I said, the Wi-Fi on the vehicles is connected to somewhere. They can form a whole grid network. I'm just saying is interesting. But what is most interesting to me is that they are from China.
said that by year end, the partnership will drive the numbers even further.
This is another signature moment for both countries.
Signature moment for both countries, China and Barbados. Yeah. So you got 35 new ones on top of the rest. And so we got 80 something so far. And the number is going up by the end of the year. I'm just saying it could be 100 buses on the road. The reality is, yeah, though, this is where this is going. So what's China known for lately? What is China known for lately? Credit scores. Credit score. You got to do, you can't be on the bus cussing and carrying on. You got to do what you're supposed to do. They're watching. Facial recognition, they watching. Biometrics, hacking, they watching. And the bus is a whole mobile spy. Like, don't get tapped. It's electric. It's an Android. Who knows what else is going on in this AI? Who knows what's going on in the bus? I'm telling you, y'all think I've played. Remember I told y'all this, right? But hold on. Let me go a little further. Hang on. Let me go a little further, man. It's that kind of night, so we're going to have to kind of cram it in. I wanted to do a feature on the UN this year. Well, I was going to do one on the UN, but I didn't get a chance. But most of the world leaders had a lot to say about the UN and what's going on. Like a lot of people were just angry and they're tired of the UN talking and not doing no work, tired of nothing happening. You know, yep, 5,000 to leave if they allow you to. And they drag and refuse to give back travel documents. Wow. I just say, yeah, roughly about 5,000 leave. So connected to the grantors. Yep. Wait, how you know so much, Pedro? I'm telling you, man. Fully mapped the whole territory, man. Those buses got surveillance on them. Nothing ain't free. That's what I'm saying, man. See, we don't understand that part. We see the bus, again, we distracted by the donation, but we ain't recognize it's a tool. It's a tool like your Android phone, which I'm going to show you in a minute. That's designed to record you, the camera and the whole 9 yards. Forget the government and the Pegasus and whatever else they're using. I'm going to show you how to try to limit some of that stuff on the phone. Whether it's fully or isn't fully, we're going to try a thing. But before we get to that, hang on a second. Well, let me just play this video for you, Pedro. You might like this one. Remember we talked about it a few months back, a year ago, maybe even more. Over a year ago, this thing called a digital ID. If you haven't heard about it, we did programs on that. You can go in the archives, go searching for it. Maybe I'll put a link in the comments or something, or maybe somebody could do that. But global news. I just want to play this. I don't want to play. Yeah. Let me go ahead and play this, man. I mean, I'll play the whole thing. I'll give you the link. Let me just copy the link. But when y'all pay attention to this video.
I am announcing this government will make a new free-of-charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. Because decent, pragmatic, fair-minded people, they want us to tackle the issues that they see around them.
Okay, so I'm just going to pause here for dramatic effects. Y'all want me to run that back? You want me to pull it up? Y'all want me to pull it up? Let me pull it up. I'm gonna put the link here, Pedro. Y'all gotta hear this. You know, like when y'all really listen to this. Like this is without apology. This is not being said here. Like this is without apology. There's no. This is. Hold on. Let me just let this play. Hang on. Let me pull this up. This is the British Prime Minister. This is September the 26th, 2025. And I know maybe y'all seen this already. But we have to connect these dots now. Bostick, military, in charge of military, security forces, police, merging police with security military forces, some retraining. They only spoke about one aspect. There's going to be a whole lot of new training going on, but new equipment, the whole 9 yards, the intimidation, the fear. What's next? Let me go ahead and unmute this. Hang on.
This government will make a new free-of-charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. Because decent, pragmatic, fair-minded people, they want us to tackle the issues that they see around them. And of course, the truth is, we won't solve our problems if we don't also take on the root causes. For too many years, it's been too easy for people to come here, slip into the shadow economy, and remain here illegally. Because, frankly, we've been squeamish about saying things that are clearly true. It's not just that it's not compassionate left-wing politics to rely on labour that exploits foreign workers and undercuts fair wages, but the simple fact that every nation needs to have control over its borders.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, we could be we're being tracked every day anyway, through the use of our mobile phones.
We're being tracked every day anyhow through our what? Mobile phones. Full stop. I'm done. I put the link and the links in the comment for those who want to see the rest of the video. It's a little longer, but it's worth watching. It's worth watching that, man. Like straight up. Not even. So where's all this going then? Where's it going? I have another video to play. It's not an original video. I'm going to give the it's from the the Wide Awake Media platform. Let me get credit where credit is due. Let me see if I could switch this here now. Let me see. Learning some new techniques. How you go here? Hang on. There you go. He talking to children. I hear that. So Tony Blair wanted it also. About simple as that. I tell you, man. I tell you, can't make this stuff up, family. Like, I pray my people who have eyes to see, let them see. Let them see, man. Father, you know, give I the strength to push this forward, man. You know. Should I play the whole video? CBDs. Okay, I might play this because I might not. I might not. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Let me just add this to the screen. Let me add this to the screen, man. Now, I don't know if y'all can hear interference. How y'all hearing? Give me a sound check, family. Might check. Because I'm getting a lot of feedback here. And they probably done, you know, China probably done crept in the back door here and God knows done did what. But give me your thoughts on this one here, family. Like this one right here. Give me your thoughts on this one. I don't even know if give me your thoughts on this. Where? Give me a mic check first, because like I said, I'm not sure if you can hear me. Give me a mic check. 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2. Okay. If y'all seen this video before, the future with CBDCs. Central bank digital currency. Now, don't forget the digital ID is connected to the digital currency. You see how it's starting to come together yet? So if you don't comply with this, the security forces going to make sure that they put things in place, because ordinary, decent people, this is what they want. Someone said to me earlier, there's riots in Europe. I said, yeah, I see a large crowd. It looks like about, 40, 50, maybe 80,000 people out there. Yeah, a lot of people. But I think about it. But wait a minute. The country may have about 18 million people in a population. You got about 80,000 people out there march. That's a large crowd. Yeah, it's lots of people, tens of thousands of people. I agree. But that's not even 1% sometimes of the population of the country. It's like crazy. But it's enough to keep them busy. But what if, and do get me on this. You see what these guys address? They dress for something. It's called a riot. It's called chaos. They're preparing for chaos. If you want to know who's expecting chaos, look who's prepared for it. There's something called controlled chaos. Don't think that every protest and march is natural. A lot of these walks and marches you see going on are government sponsored deliberately to create an environment to justify what they're going to do next. Let me play this video.
Good morning, citizens. Your overnight account balances have been updated. Time to start a productive day. Final notice, your account balance is below 500. You need 50 credits by the end of the day to avoid automatic eviction. If you have missed work due to illness, you must provide a doctor's note to reclaim your credits.
Any extra credits? Please.
Tensions are high today, with more people planning to join the Citizens Against Digital Control protest. Remember, the government knows who you are at all times. Resisting is not worth the consequences. All of their newest...
The government knows who you are at all times. Now, y'all see this? She woke up, account slow, on low. She got to go put that work in to build that back up. Folks on the street. Imagine that. They even have people on the street still looking to get credits from you, still looking for change from you. You got any extra credits? Not extra change, extra credits. You can't make this up, family. Hold on.
Social credit systems are designed to keep you and your families safe and efficient.
Authorities seized a record balance of an individual's credits, citing excessive hoarding.
Traffic violation detected. 7 miles per hour over the limit.
Wait a minute, hold on. Not the smart car. Wait, hold on. Wait. You telling me that she realized that she late, press gas, the smart car say this area is a 35 mile an hour area. You done gone to 37, or sorry, 42. So you 7 miles over the speed limit. We gonna deduct credit automatically. Listen, family, y'all talking, right? Connect the dots, the smart car. I met a lady a couple of days ago. She got one of the new electric cars. I asked her, how you like it and thing, you know? She said, well, she love it, man. You know, got a bunch of buttons and thing, all kind of settings. I said, yeah, it's smart. So yeah, all right. Clutch, man, stick and clutch. Your family, I'm telling y'all, man, this ain't, the thing is that this isn't happening, family. You see, I want you all to understand, this is not something that we speaking of to come. This is done. It's already here. The problem is it's like you open a box, a puzzle box, a box with a puzzle in it, and you dump all the pieces on the table, and it's a 1,000-piece puzzle, or a 10,000-piece puzzle. Maybe not 10,000 pieces. That's me just overinflating it. But it's a lot of pieces, and you trying to find them as you go through them and fit them in. Trying your best. What you got to realize, family, all the pieces are already on the table. The problem is you just don't see the picture. You just don't see the picture.
Traffic violation detected. 7 miles per hour over the limit. 75 credits have been automatically deducted.
You have to be fucking kidding me.
Oh, hell no.
Yep, you got the flu. Your blood work shows a significant iron deficiency. I recommend incorporating more red meat into your diet.
Imagine that. You got a flu. The doctor recommend you need some more red meat in your diet, you know. Some beef, I suppose.
Dr. Jones, your taxes were not filed and have been automatically deducted with late fees. Your medical license has been revoked.
Imagine that your doctor, he paid taxes. It sounds crazy, right? I know this sounds ridiculous. It sounds mad. It sounds crazy.
Oh, hell nah. I filed an extension.
Purchase denied. Monthly red meat allowance exceeded.
Purchase denied. Monthly red meat allowance exceeded. We're trying to keep you fit.
Try mealworms instead.
Try mealworms instead. Mealworms. There you go, family. How about dinner? Stir fry.
Can you guys please let me through?
Attention. Unauthorized political gathering detected.
An unauthorized political gathering detected. Now, bear in mind, she just got out to answer a pass. All right.
Participants' access to financial services has been suspended.
Participant access. Listen. Participant access to financial services denied. Don't that sound like what happened in Canada with the truckers a little while ago? Like being connected to these dogs.
Due to the speeding infraction, your car will be immobilized for 3 days.
Fuck you! Take your surveillance policies and rot in hell!
You've earned 50 bonus credits for reporting your neighbor's hateful misconduct.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there. He just earned some paper with his iPhone when he was spying on his neighbor, uploading what she doing. The car said, "You've been bad all day. We gonna ground it." The car can't work for a few days. It's a smart car, so I understand what's going on. The AI involved, the AIG involved. AI, yes, but AIG, which is another conversation. Do some homework if you haven't heard about it. Family, look, man, let me go to the comments real quick. I'm just gonna skip that. I'm gonna put the link to that video also in the comments. You can go and watch the rest of it. Or y'all want me to play the rest of it? Let me know. Let me know. Bempe is a CB. Bempe is a CBDC, and Cash is CBDC from the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. Once you know, Sean, listen, the dots, the pieces are all on the table. We just not seeing the full picture because we too distracted, man. The clip is so true. You work off your credit score over here. You must keep it good. Nothing is about how much money you have. It's about credit scores. I got you. Serious. Capitalism is the only thing that can stop dystopia, socialist ideology. Crazy, man. Suppose you as a vegan. I don't know, Aaron. The food rationing in the future. Yep. This is war, Aaron said. No, Aaron, don't get the imports. This is war. I don't know how the people saying that. I might, because you know they're going to blame me anyhow. Canada, hold on. Nurses here too. Yep. The nurses in Barbados had the same thing. They took that off their account, full stop. Look, man. Let me, you know what? Yeah, I'll play the rest of the video. Just let me know if you want me to play it. But like I said, family, there's a few other videos I had. I could touch on it. Let me go to the phone real quick. Let me go to the phone real quick, man. Let me just do this one with the phone. How can I do this? My phone already here working. I don't know if y'all can see my screen. If y'all can see my screen. Let me see. Well, I don't know if y'all can see my phone screen. Let me see if I can put my phone. Wait. Okay, I'm watching Politically Incorrect. All right, so this the phone, Samsung. It's a Samsung phone, typical. So I'm playing around with the phone, and I'm going through some stuff. And of course, there's the setting. The light is there's the setting, of course. And let me see. If I go to the section that say, well, open your setting on the phone. Open your setting on your phone, the settings. If you have a Samsung phone. I don't know about the iPhone. I can't tell you how the iPhone works. But go down to the section that says app, where it says apps right there. Yeah, you can see that it says apps right here, and you're going to tap on the apps, and it's going to open up. And you're going to scroll. Let me see. Go down, go down, go down. Keep going down. Let me see here. Oh, here it is. Click on, well, let me show you this part. Do this one first. Let me see. C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, G. I can't even find mine now. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I'm going past it. So we can click on the camera app. Actually click on your camera app, believe it or not. I don't know who has a Samsung. Aaron, you got a Samsung? All right, click on the app that mark on camera. You can see it. Well, it said camera. If you can't see it, it said camera. And on that section right there, there's a lot of stuff. I wonder if I could share my screen. I probably can. Technology. I'm sure I can. My brain is computing how to do that. It's weird. If I log on to my own program, enter as a guest, share my screen, I could show my screen on the screen. Yeah, it could do. But you know, go to camera settings and you're going to see a whole bunch of stuff in terms of permission. One of the things you want to go to is mobile data. Now, this is where it's interesting. And you want to turn that off. You want to turn that allow data usage in the background. Turn that off. So first thing first. Because apparently, you know, while your phone is functioning, the reality is working. While you walk, talk, whatever, it's working. And you use the data collecting in the background. Allow background data. Again, this one down here, allow background data. You probably can't see it as clear, especially using a smaller phone. But go through it, go to camera, allow background data, turn that off, and then you go back out. And then you go to where is it here now? Scroll back down, go to battery, switch it to restricted, go back from battery to restricted. There's another one here where appear on top is on. You want to turn that bad boy off. Wait, yeah, want to turn it off. And I think that's it. Oh, one more, the bottom one. The one right below that appears on top. This is change system settings. Click on that. Turn that bad boy off. So the phone don't allow it to change your settings that you secure. So not allowed, off. There you go. And that should give some limitation to what the phone can do without your consent. Someone say, well, it probably still doing it anyhow. That's only giving you false assurance. Could be. But the devices aren't ours. We must always remember that. They're not ours. We just use them. All tools, just tools. And, you know, hang on. You went through the C, the O now. It's the V, ID. Coming soon. I'm glad you put it like that, Jackie. For sure. Serious. Doctor will tell you that you ain't signing an affidavit about not being vaccinated because they're paid to do it. But there is always a way around because we ain't doing it to our babies, for sure. Better to de-Google your phone. Don't become too paranoid. Pedro said don't become too paranoid. I like to think that at this point, paranoia, a little paranoia might be actually a healthy thing. If you think so, then it probably is. But anyhow, family, wasn't planning on sticking up for a while. I wanted to share that with you. Definitely food for thought. That clip, go watch the rest of it. The end is quite interesting. Quite frankly. In fact, maybe I should just show the end. It's only 30 seconds. Only 30 seconds. The neighbor, where was it? Where was I? Oh yeah. Neighbor getting points for reporting. Neighbor, you got the police, the defense force, and your neighbor now policing you. Can't even trust your neighbor.
This content exceeds your current social credit tier. May we suggest citizen responsibility? Sarah, open the door. You have been identified by the authorities. Don't resist. Don't resist. Don't resist.
Don't resist. Don't resist. Don't resist. Don't resist. Anyhow, family. Thanks. Pedro asked, you went to the cannabis exhibition in SPG? Why you asked, Pedro? Out of curiosity. It's been real crazy, man. It's been real crazy. For sure, it's been crazy. Family, I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again before the night is out. Find a group that working with you. Work with them. Plant food. Plant food. Start having study groups. Start studying with the next move. Whether you're in church group, whatever. Y'all get together. Start thinking how you going to fix this thing, because it's going to get out of hand, man. It's going to get out of hand without question. So start to focus on what's next, what we could do to make a difference, man. That's just the bottom line. I agree with the walks and stuff going on around Barbados. There's a few of them. And yes, they bring awareness. So as best you can, any way you can, bring awareness. A lot of young politicians, aspiring politicians speaking out. And that's good and dandy as well. That also bring awareness. Anything to bring awareness to the people who are interested in awareness. Because there's some folks who like, look, man, I good, I can't wait to get my ID. I can't wait to do this thing, So let's be wise, family, in these times. Let's be wise. This is just what it is. Many hope, family. I know it's been a little minute, but I'm back. I'm here. Empress said earlier, welcome back. Well, I was always here. This, like I said, working. There's a lot to share in the fullness of time. But food. Anyhow, family, y'all be good. Keep focused. Stay focused. Hang on. Oh, Pedro said, I got a strong feeling, so. You got a strong feeling, so, huh? Yeah, I bet you do. This is a great, exciting times to live in. For real, I agree. Totally for real. Good night to you too, brethren, and all, each and every one. Shout out from the elder. Do we have to prep for the fallout of what may happen down south? Let me go to that video. Hold on, Maureen. On because Maureen, man. Let me see if I can find it. Actually, here it is. Hang on. While we was discussing stuff tonight, this is let's go on this page real quick here and share this. Let me see if I can do this. Let me do it this way instead. This is the GIS for Grenada page. This is actually the Facebook page. They had a live earlier tonight. It's a town hall they had. And I'll mute it first just for a bit. This is what was going on earlier. So hall meeting. Okay, so I thought it was interesting. all the talk in the news about Grenada and government and what's been going on and that kind of stuff. Why not tune in and hear what's going on? So I tune in. And
guide us.
What I end up hearing, man, was just so much information on a lot of things. But I want to get to the part that really stood out to me. Like I said, it was a lot of information, but I want to get to the area that stood out for me. Let me, if I can remember exactly where it was. I think this is the area right here. Yes. Hang on. So I'll play a little bit of this really
Talking
quick.
of our program number 6 and quality assessment. These are
Hang on.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I think Ms. Helena Innes will update us.
I'm so sorry. Yes, thank you.
Ms. Helena Innes will update us on the data capture, the quality, and then as well as the program, the collaboration program that we have with TNT.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Yevi. Good evening, everyone. To continue on from where Chairman Burke finished, he did say that we were looking at data capture and quality assessment. Now, data is extremely important in the petroleum industry, and we need good data, and we need to have it available and ready for use.
Data in the petroleum industry. Petroleum. All right? Keep that in mind. Petroleum.
We need it. So what we have done, even though there was data acquired in Grenada's waters, there was no, we had no copies in hand. So we had to go and look for copies. We knew the geophysical companies that had acquired the data, so we approached them to see whether or not we could get copies of this data. So the seismic data, as he said, which gives you an X-ray of the subsurface, beneath the surface of the earth, that gives you an idea of what is down there. So we engaged with a company called GeoX, and GeoX had done a survey between Trinidad that extended from Grenada all the way to Trinidad and Tobago. And what is going to be happening there is, in fact, we already got the data from GeoX, and what we're going to be doing is getting the data from Trinidad and Tobago.
So there's this petroleum discussion and Grenada all of a sudden, and arrangement with Trinidad as well. And all of a sudden now, there's conflict in the Southern Caribbean. But hold on, wait, there's more. I want you all to pay attention to this video here a little more.
So we're going to have a very good idea of the exploration potential in the Trinidad and Tobago Grenada Basin. The data that we got is very good, so we're going to be able to utilize it really, really well to see what is in it for Grenada in the future.
Okay, so I want to pause real quick here. This is as far as I'm going. Maybe I'll share this. It's on Facebook. I'm sure it's on YouTube as well for those who are not on Facebook. You can go and check the Grenada GIS page and get this information and watch the whole thing. But I want you all to take a look at this map really quick, where they have the hibiscus field in Trinidad area and the dragon field in Venezuela area, then the nutmeg well. The nutmeg well. Let me just reposition myself. Hang on. The nutmeg well. The nutmeg well is Grenada's, where they drilled. That's where they were drilling, and I guess they found oil, petroleum. But notice it's like right next to Venezuela, the border, in territory. And I thought it was interesting. I thought it was very interesting. Look, man, I'm just my 2 cents, right? Just my 2 cents. Just food for thought, family. So a lot of things are happening in the South. Yes. A lot of people are involved in this. Countries are involved in this. Yes, for different reasons. Yes. What's going to be the outcome? The word you used was fallout. What's happening down south? I think the Caribbean is in for a rude awakening. And again, I'm not pushing fear. I just think that it's in for a rude awakening because the Caribbean is practically vulnerable. I mean, defend against who? So I don't think there's going to be a war on that kind of level. Venezuela, on the other hand, is a different conversation. There's more at stake here than what meets the eye. And so as far as who the players, let's see. Let's see. In Grenada, the government tried to trick the people by claiming that the politicians no longer swear allegiance to King Charles. They now swear to the state. But the trick is that King Charles owns the state. Okay, interesting. The U.S. has approached Grenada to put surveillance equipment in their water and airport. Should we forget what happened in Grenada? Nope. But more importantly, don't forget, recently, America said we're not buying your fish anymore, which is a multi-million-dollar, enterprise for Grenada. That's one day bread butter. That's like, and it was like, nah, we ain't taking any fish no more. But we want favor. Yes, Pedro, I agree. We will win this as a people, as one Caribbean. Wars are won by strategy, family, not emotions. But this conversation they had, like I got in, when I tuned in, it was at this part. This is the part I was listening to. And I said, I just figured I need to share this with the people, man. Like, food for thought. That nutmeg well next to Venezuelan waters. There's such a thing as on-the-ground drilling, right? They drill down, then they go horizontal. On-the-ground, horizontal drilling. Everything in vertical. But technology is something else. Anyhow, I'm going to leave it at that for now. I ain't implying anything. It just seemed a little close. Anyhow, family, me up out of here. Y'all already know what time it is, man. I had started out with a video earlier. Oh, here it is. Showing vintage Barbados. Let us not forget what our foreparents, our ancestors has been through to bring us to this point. And let us go through what we have to go through to do better for self, and make wrongs right in order to go forward as a people. It's important that we keep that in mind because we can only go forward. We can never go back. We can only go forward. So we pray for wisdom, guidance, and understanding going forward. Do the things we got to do to make Barbados a better place for our children and our children's children. You know what I mean? At least last the first, Empress Reserve Menon, you all already know is the perfect balance. We give thanks. Maureen saying, nice to have you back. Have a restful night. Shout out to the family in UK, by the way. Got to shout out the matriarch moms. Big shout out to you. Big shout out. Big shout out. I'm going to leave it at that. So when you rise, you get a big surprise from Barbados. None but sunshine. Although it's raining right now, you got sunshine. Love nevertheless. Shout out to my sister from another mother as well. The whole of the family, man. That's what's up. Until next time, family. Y'all already know.
Barbados, sweet paradise.
Y'all already know, family.
But the tricksters, full of lies. They want mash up the culture, tear it to the ground. But the people, we stand strong, we hold the rock down. Wake up, shake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up, wake up my people. Shake up. It's time to rise. Time to see clear. Time to open we eyes.
That's the people.
Tell a friend if you don't mind.
You love dancing people.